Well, since you live abroad, baka hindi nyo nababasa yung mga matitinong articles. Most of the popular media outlets covering the Galleros are paid by them. Kaya ganun yung mga sinasabi nila.
The sun had risen. The golden rays of the sunset reflected on Aine's window, striking her skin. The young lady had just woken up from her sleep, her vision cloudy from the comfortable slumber. She sat up on her bed, her eyes wandering around her room before she finally decided to stand up, her feet touching the concrete floor. Her figure stood tall in the room, making her way to the washroom. She began to do her morning routine, washing her face, brushing her teeth, and combing her hair. Minutes have passed, and she is finished freshening up. Aine stepped out of the bathroom and into the kitchen, where she began to prepare breakfast for herself. Her day carried on as usual, with her reading novels to ease her mind and watching the news for latest Senate updates, particularly on political people seeking election. It was a usual calm Friday night on the last working day of the week. She spent the rest of her night scrolling on Facebook. Her eyes were immediately drawn to the articles and postings in which folks expressed their personal opinions and thoughts about the candidates running for politics in the country. The return of the Galleros. Aine's eyes sparked at the headline she had just read on her screen.
Are we being serious right now? There is no way people are still going to vote for any of their Nepo babies. After the distraught they've brought to the country?
Aine furiously said, her fingers massaging deep into her temples as she attempted to calm herself down.
This year is the only hope to change our country's future. I hope people will open their eyes and consider the capabilities of those who are running for positions in politics.
Aine took a deep breath before continuing her words.
Not vote for those who have blood relations in the government. Please let us learn from our experiences.
She let out a big sigh as she saw the comments left under the post made by an established article page.
Handang-handa na ako ibigay ang boto ko sa kahit sinumang Gallero.
Pag Gallero talagang matalino at matino.
I'm a solid Gallero fan since birth.
Let's go, Gallero. Prove them wrong.
Aine forced her eyes shut, visibly shocked by the words she'd seen in the article.
I suppose we'll never learn our lesson even now. I'll open their eyes for them. If they keep choosing to be on the wrong side of history, especially those who support the Gallero family.
She nods her head, taking initiative in the situation.
I'll talk some sense into their supporters. Hopefully.
With her words said, she began writing a post, uploading it once she was done and satisfied with the deliverance of her strong, opinionated words.
Aine proceeds with her day and does some chores around the house before she gets ready to leave to call with her friend. After being done cleaning up, Aine sits down and picks up her phone after being off it all morning. She thinks back on the post she made on Facebook yesterday and has a frown on her face, thinking about what could happen to her country in these upcoming years. Shaking her head, she ignores these unpleasant thoughts and opens TikTok in hopes for a quick pick-me-up before getting ready. After a few videos, she receives a notification from the post she made earlier that day. As she opens her Facebook inbox, she is faced with hundreds of notifications.
Anong pinagsasabi neto? Wala talagang alam mga supporter ni Montenegro, Diyos ko.
So true, girl. Ang hirap talaga mag-spread ng awareness kung hindi naman nila gets yung sinasabi natin.
Dami mong alam, tumakbo ka ng eleksyon.
Ayan na naman si Miss Know-It-All.
Grabe, Thank you for using your voice. Sobrang needy ng generation natin ng ganito ngayon.
This is the kind of energy we need sa kabataan. More power!
Pawok ka masyado. Aral ka nga muna.
Grabe, ang tapang mo to speak up at such a young age. Not everyone your age would dare to call out corruption, lalo na sa isang society na maraming pinipiling manahimik kasi kumikita sila sa ayuda. Keep going, babe. Your voice matters more than you know.
As Aine scrolls through her comment section, she frowns at those who oppose her beliefs, but they are nothing but online trolls. The few, but meaningful comments that support her are the ones that bring a small smile to her face. She sighs before she speaks.
Ano ba yan? Ito na naman sila. Parang ang mahal-mahal naman magbasa ng mga totoong articles na nangyayari. Buti na lang talaga may ilan pa rin na gets talaga yung point ng post ko.
When Aine is about to exit the app, she receives a text notification from her friend.
Shucks! I should get ready na pala.
Aine rushes back to her room to prepare her laptop. This is one of the few times of the month she can video chat with Den. Den is one of Aine's childhood friends. They met through their moms and occasionally meet and catch up every now and then. Due to Den living abroad, they only ever get to physically meet up during the holidays when Den's family flies back home. Since Den lives abroad, his access to political media is quite surface level and overgeneralized. They rarely ever talk about politics since it seems like something that does not interest them due to the stark difference in their circumstances and is irrelevant to their shared interests. Aine picks up the call ringing from her laptop, greeted by Den's face on the screen.
Hoy! Hi! Long time no call ha? Baka nakalimutan mo na ako.
Di kaya. Di kasi kami nakauwi nung winter break. Sobrang hirap kasi mag-book ng flight eh.
Okay, sabi mo yan ah. So, ano balita? How are you? How's your fam?
Same old, same old. Alam mo naman sila mama.
Mabuti naman.
They chat about life for a while, but as their conversation continues, Dan can't help but notice the constant string of notifications from Aine's phone, the buzz heard in the background of her room.
Lah! May jowa ka na ba?
Aine wears a stunned expression, though their friendship may seem odd to others, assuming it means something more. Aine and Den are more like siblings if anything.
With my lifestyle? Girl, asa sila? Plus, I'd rather not. Why are you asking out of the blue ba?
Wala lang. Kanina pa kasi nagbabuzz yung phone mo eh. Pero joke lang ha. Baka si tita lang yan.
Oh, that? Nag-post kasi ako kanina regarding the whole Gallero party listing. Nakita mo ba yun? Nakakainis kasi na sinasayang nila ang boto nila sa mga maling tao.
Oo nga. Nakita ko yun. Hindi ko gets kung ba't galit na galit yung mga tao ha. Sa mga news kasi na nakikita ko, maliit na bagay lang naman sa kanila yung ganun. Wala namang ganun kalaking issue. Tsaka parang ganun din naman sa Montenegro party, di ba? Laging may issue pero wala pa rin namang nagbabago.
Well, since you live abroad, baka hindi nyo nababasa yung mga matitinong articles. Most of the popular media outlets covering the Galleros are paid by them. Kaya ganun yung mga sinasabi nila.
I mean, siguro, pero hindi naman kasi ganun ka-harmful kahit sino pa iboto nila, di ba? Pare-pareho lang naman mga yan.
Why do you view it that way? Politics is not about which family you come from or who you are. It's about what you can do for the people. How could you have such a naive point of view then?
Aine raises her voice at Den, who seems indifferent to her political stance.
I'm not saying that I side with the people you're against. I just don't understand why it's such a big deal to you. Can you really blame me for not fully grasping the situation? It's not like I care about politics as much as you do.
Well, that's your problem. You don't care as much as I do. I can't believe you also believe those fabricated articles that glorify the Galleros. Do you not want to help the future generations of our country?
Ba't ka ba nagagalit agad? Hindi ko naman sinasabi na ayokong tumulong eh. I just meant that wala naman talagang point. Politicians will continue to corrupt our country regardless of who it is.
Well, you are somewhat correct. By electing those who are open to change and are understanding of the situations their citizens are facing, we can help by speaking out. You're just like those internet trolls who choose ignorance.
Aine sighs loudly as she sits back on her chair, then sits still as he takes in the heavy words she sent his way.
Like you're any better? Here you are, trying way too hard for people who don't even care.
Choosing to be ignorant or neutral is just as bad as siding with those corrupt politicians.
Defeated, then abruptly ends the call with a slam of his laptop. Aine's words cut through him like a knife, revealing his ignorance of the points Aine tried hard to get across. As the call-ending notification rang through her room, Aine thinks back on the rude personal comments made on her post. She wonders if she was too hard on them, if she took out her anger on him while trying to remain composed because of all the hate she was getting online. The hate comments sent her way did take a toll on her. She was just a teen after all. She sighs deeply and rubs her temples, frowning.
Ang hirap naman mag-spread ng awareness kahit sino man. Parang ako palagi yung problema.
Aine shuts down her laptop and sets it aside, leaving her room to go to do something to keep her mind off what just happened. Days after their argument, Aine texts Den, asking if he was free to call again. She wanted to resolve their problem and apologize for letting things heat up without talking about it. Den proceeds to call Aine, and after one ring, she picks up. Her face large on his screen, he could see her nervous and solemn expression, but looked more composed than she was a few days prior. He waves at the camera and smiles.
Hey, about what happened the other day. I was a bit out of line, huh?
You were. But so was I. I got so caught up in being right that I forgot I was talking to someone I cared about.
I just didn't expect you to care that much about politics.
Exactly. And that's the problem. You don't have to agree with me, but you have to respect why I care. These things, it's not just politics to me. It affects people I care about. It affects me. To you, it might just be another post, but for me, it's personal. These things aren't just topics to argue about online. They actually matter to me. Believe it or not, I don't post those rants for fun or attention. I truly care. Probably too much sometimes.
Okay, I hear you.
I'm learning to listen more, to not expect everyone will get it right away, but I also won't water myself down just to keep things comfortable. I'm sorry for lashing out at you for not knowing enough. I should have been educating you rather than arguing my points.
I accept your apology, and I'm sorry too for being ignorant and aloof about the situation. But I'm glad you were able to educate me. I didn't understand the weight of the situation, and I wish I knew it before.
We all make mistakes, and I'm glad we were able to resolve it. Thank you for forgiving me. I wish educating people was this easy. I just hope people will understand my frustration with what's happening.
Aine looks down at her keyboard, preparing to say something, but stops.
Okay ka lang ba? I wish I asked you about this sooner, pero nung di tayo nag-usap, I saw your post that went viral, and the comments were just brutal.
She looks up at him, surprised. These past few days had been hell for her, especially with the added weight of their argument.
Honestly, no. Ilang araw na and puro hate comment pa rin nakukuha ko sa notifs ko. As much as I want to say that I won't let it go with me, it did.
She sighs deeply before taking a short sip from the drink that was next to her.
I don't know what I did wrong in my posts. I was simply informing and educating them. Why did they have to make such shallow attacks? And why did I let them get under my skin?
I know that I made some ignorant comments about politics, but now that you've taught me better, I now understand that there was nothing wrong with what you did. Speaking up was brave, and accepting all those hate comments must have been hard for you. But you handled it like a champ.
Aine's posture relaxes, releasing days' worth of sadness and anger from the reactions she garnered from the post.
You weren't wrong for standing up for what you believe in, and you shouldn't let them get to you with such shallow comments. Mas malakas pa nga loob mo sa kanila for speaking up eh.
You're right. I really shouldn't let their comments get to me. They don't know me, and those shallow comments barely scratch the surface of my being. Therefore, they're not true. Thank you for grounding me then. I really needed that reminder. Ang tense ko kanina pa.
Wala lang yun. You're my friend eh. Tsaka kung di kita sinabihan, baka maging bato ka na dyan sa pagka-tense mo.
They continued to banter as they always have, going back to their usual nature as friends. Aine's confession about the weight she felt from all those hate comments was soon forgotten in the midst of their conversation. They didn't solve everything in one coffee's cup time, but that conversation, it was real, messy, brave, and sometimes that's where change begins. Aine is once again on Facebook. She scrolls past another baseless political argument. She pauses, types something out, but deletes it. She hesitates before typing again, taking time with her message. Then, she hits send.
Hey, saw your post. Mind if we talk about it? I'm genuinely curious about your perspective.
She didn't stop speaking up. She just learned there's more than one way to be heard. Understanding everyone's perspective begins with opening your mind. Seek knowledge and choose to stay informed.
Pasensya naming madla. Kumakalam na yung mga nasikmura. Biglang papasok, oportunista. Nakalimutan ka para sa pera. Pagkikisama yan ang binibenta. Diretso ka pa ba sa ating liku-likong sistema? O sasama ka sa akin, puksain ang epidemya? Nalamaganap, nagpahirap sa mahirap. Tumatapos na pangarap. Di na magilap yung mga ulap. Habang tayo ay naghihirap.
This year, pangit ng pronunciation ko. This year,
Ano yung keyword?